If you wanna win and rank up in Valorant but are still using the Vandal, then I urge you to watch this video to hear the 5 reasons for why I say that the Phantom is better. The Vandal versus Phantom debate is still going on, and it's pretty much 50-50 for which side you're on. I'm gonna try my best to not offend any Vandal users in this video, but instead just provide my perspective as someone who uses both guns. The first reason for why I think the Phantom is better is that it's way better close range, as you've probably already heard. This is mainly because of its high fire rate and more bullets in the Vandal, which allows you to hold back pushes a lot better than with the Vandal. Its main disadvantage, which is that it doesn't one-tap, is also non-factor here, since the Phantom does 156 damage up to 15 meters. What you probably haven't heard is that it might actually be better or at least equally as good as the Vandal on longer ranges as well. This is my second reason for why the Phantom is better. People often make the Vandal look like the only long-range rifle you should use. People usually think along the lines of it one-tap so it has to be better, and there is some truth in that. Being able to one-tap is very powerful, but with all the Phantom's other advantages and the fact that its bullet spread is lower and first shot accuracy higher, it makes it way more accurate in long range than the Vandal is. This means that even though you can one-tap with the Vandal, and that can be beneficial, we gotta look at the DPS that both guns do, and by looking at the two stats I just mentioned, bullet spread and first shot accuracy, you can see that those make up for the Phantom's damage drop-off. Another thing you want to think about is how good you really are. It might sound a bit harsh, but 99% of Valorant players aren't really as good as they think, and are probably not going to be able to hit consistent one-taps. If that's you, then great, and maybe you should consider using the Vandal then. But the reality is that it's probably not you, so you gotta be realistic and think, am I really good enough to hit consistent one-taps? And if you're not, which I suspect that most people, if not every single person watching this video is, including me sometimes, you probably shouldn't be relying on using the Vandal as much. The next reason is one that's very underrated from my experience, and that's the fact that the Phantom doesn't have any visible bullet tracers. If you've ever shot through a smoke, chances are that you've had a few bullets come back at you, or maybe you've even gotten killed through it. This happens pretty often, but to minimize this risk you can use the Phantom. Because the Phantom's bullets aren't visible through a smoke, people will have a way harder time shooting back at you. And on top of this, the Phantom is also silenced, which can make it harder for the enemies to hear exactly from where you're shooting. My fourth reason is that it's superior for running and gunning. Now, is running and gunning something that I generally recommend? No, but it does have its use cases. If you know an enemy is in a certain position very close to you, you might as well just run around the corner and already shooting, which gives the enemy less time to react. This works better with the Phantom because it's more accurate as well as shoots faster and has more ammo. Even though this can seem like a minor advantage, it still happens pretty frequently, and in those cases you're gonna be happy that you chose the Phantom. Adding together the higher fire rate, higher accuracy and no bullet tracers gives me my next reason, which is that the Phantom is a lot more noob friendly. What I mean by noob is really anyone below Diamond or so. Players below Diamond on average don't have very good aim, nor game sense for that matter, which means that you wanna play with a gun that gives you as easy of a time as possible, which in this case is the Phantom. You get to have free kills through smokes, run and gun, miss more shots, as well as spray without being punished nearly as hard as you would with the Vandal. These reasons makes it a no-brainer to choose if you are somewhat low elo. Now to the conclusion. Do I think that you can never use the Vandal, or if you do so you're a bad person? No. I use the Vandal a lot myself because I personally enjoy playing it more. But if I'm tryharding or want the biggest competitive advantage that I can get, then I do choose the Phantom, and I urge you to do the same thing. If you're serious about ranking up and winning, then I do recommend you to use the Phantom in 9 out of 10 situations. But if you just play for fun, then disregard this entire video because you can still win and have fun with both guns. So if you happen to prefer the Vandal, then use it. I at least hope that you could learn something from this video and maybe realize that one-tap ability the Vandal has might not be as big of a factor as people make it out to be. If you want to learn how to use the Phantom properly, then watch the video on the screen. That's it from me, see you in the next video.